Well, it's been about a week since I was working on the solar panels, and the project has taken a different angle. The box was moved, all the wiring was undone, and the box was painted, so it looks good. And now I'm going to rewire the solar panels properly and put in a cigarette lighter outlet so we can run this absorption cooler. It's like a three-way fridge, and start saving energy here for this house. So all the wiring from the charge controller to the batteries is still intact. The batteries are still connected. The power inverter is still connected. So the switch, I can flip on the switch. I can flip on the inverter, and you can hear it fire up. So everything is connected. And see the battery voltage. It's alternating, so I can't tell, but the charge controller is still cycling through. The battery voltage was at 12.9 a minute ago, but of course nothing coming in from solar panels. Volts 12.8, so it dropped 1/10 of a volt turning this on. Anyway, that still works. So all I have to do is reconnect the solar panels to the control box and run the wires, and then put a cigarette lighter outlet over here on this side to run the fridge off of, and then maybe another hole so we can put a AC outlet outside the box onto the inverter. I have AC power here as well. Well, here are the solar panels, 3 of them. There's one over there still, and that's the corner we were working on. We were going to put the box in the corner and the solar panels on top, but instead they're coming over here and then going into the box right down here. So it just means a little bit longer wire, which I don't know if I have exactly or not. So we'll figure that out as we go here. But I'm going to try to get these panels hooked up so they can start saving energy already. Now I'm just setting these here for now. We're going to build a frame for these later, but right now I want to do the electronics, because anybody can build the wooden frames later on. But I want to get the wiring hooked up so they can start using it, and then they can always take out one panel at a time and put on the frame as needed, taking off the wires of each panel as they go. Because I have a terminal strip that I'm going to hook up underneath the roof here, and run all the wires of each solar panel into that terminal strip, and from there all the way down to the main battery box. So I just want to get the wiring done at least so they can start using it and do whatever modifications they want at will later on. Got all the wires hanging down from the solar panels. I've got my major plus and minus wires hanging and run up through the ceiling, coming down to the battery box. So now I'll snip those ends and feed that into there. And then over here I've got some terminal bars, bus bars. I have a plus and a minus. I'm going to put on a piece of wood so it keeps them isolated, and zip tie up into here somewhere. Now this is a basically like a rental, so it's nothing permanent, so I'm not screwing any holes or permanently attaching anything, so it'll be with zip ties. Okay, I'm going to hook up these solar panels in pairs. Now what I've done is I've cut a couple pieces of wood the width of 2 panels, and since I don't have proper mounting hardware and this is a low budget setup, what I've done is cut some extra pieces of wood that'll go underneath here and where each screw hole is going to be, and I'm going to mount this board across and make my own holes, and then screw that straight through using wood screws. That should fit nicely through and into there. Should be deep enough. And that should hold these solar panels together with the board on the top and one on the bottom across. So we'll do one hole here first in the middle. There we go. Now, I can put a screw in, my electric screwdriver here. This is a budget way because we can't afford the proper mounting hardware, and this is a temporary setup anyway. There, nice and solid. See how it lifts the panel up? That's on there good. So I'm going to do the same with the rest of these screws here. Line these panels up nice and mount these on all the way across. So I'll drill the other one here. And that's nice and solid. So I'll do the rest of these, and that's half will be done. And that's how we're going to mount our solar panels together for now. Good? Alright, I've got here's the wires out of the way. I've got the frames attached, 2 pieces of wood. I can pick this up as one solid piece now. It's one panel. So they're solidly attached as one unit. You can show a close-up here, if you would, of these right here from this angle. See how I've attached them. And then show this one here. So the screw went through both pieces of wood, holding the frame in between and sandwiching it. So now we have a solid connection. Now what we'll do next is we'll take the wires and make a solar panel pair. So we're going to take minus to minus, then connect them together, and then plus to plus and connect them together. And then from there I'm going to run a longer wire which will go into the bus bar. So I'll get my tools and we'll come back to that. Alright, so I'm going to solder these wires together now. It's a bit awkward. Can you actually use your other free hand and hold this right there? Yes, thank you. Hold it steady. I have to try to get the pressure on this and solder this on. It's an ugly old iron. It does melt solder. There we go. Now it's melting in. It's a lot of metal to heat, so it's awkward. Let me turn this a bit. Yeah, hold it right there. Got it?
Yeah.
Alright. It's a lot of metal right there. We want to get a good connection though. A good electrical connection. So it takes a second to heat this up well. See, that's working. Get the end in there now. Ooh, hurt my finger. Yeah, it starts to get hot. Okay. Alright. I'm going to touch up that soldering joint a little bit. We need a flat surface, but like I said, I'm going to solder these together for a good connection, and then we'll move to the next step. Thank you. So I've got these soldered. They're not the prettiest thing in the world, but I've got them on there. And now I'm going to tape these. Now these wires will be under the roof line, but I want to tape them anyway to protect them from the elements a little bit better.
What is this for?
Later maybe I'll put some heat shrink tubing on there. And the same with the other one, which is still hot. That's going to cool down a bit. And then I'll tape that off. And then we can set these on the roof and hook up our solar panels.
Yeah.
And you have a look at the backside and carry this with one unit. It's very convenient now. And this is going to go up here on the roof. You have to take the other one down. this around. Now it's a bit heavier. There. See the camera? There's one solar panel pair. The wire's hanging down and ready to hook up. So later we'll mount this on an angle so it's up into the sun properly. But for now we wanted to get it wired up and going. And it's raised off the roof a little bit, which is good for cooling purposes for now. That's how it's going to be for today.